He's a retard. He's got it pretty bad, too. He thinks I'm his grandpa. He usually sits at home just drawing dolphins all day. We used to let him out on his own, but the raping got so bad that we just...
Something called Dirty Grandpa was never going to be a good movie, but it had no reason to be this aggressively, obnoxiously, offensively bad. I've seen a lot of bad films in my day, but this one holds the crown of absolute worst. The crème de la crème of cinematic dog shit. And it's not even close to being usurped from that throne. With the premise of Robert De Niro as a sex-crazed old man and Zac Efron as his put-upon grandson embarking on a road trip through bikini-clad spring break celebrations, Dirty Grandpa should have been a dumb 80-minute hard-R comedy that you could stick on with your friends late at night, worth a few chuckles and generally a fun time, but it couldn't even manage that. It's not just not funny, much like its title character, it's creepy and lascivious. The script, credited to John Phillips, is one of the laziest ever written. Phillips hits the shock button every 2 seconds. It's like he wrote it with a mindset of juvenile one-upmanship. Okay, so he goes into a gift shop and then, what's the craziest thing that could happen? Someone takes a shit on the floor, and then someone takes out a gun and starts firing it randomly, and then the shopkeeper gets AIDS and dies. Every other scene has a casual reference to rape.
Do you want to be ass-raped by the man with the mental age of 7? Or do you want to be stripped naked and used as a human diaper by the same man?
There's a whole drawn-out scene where Zac Efron wakes up naked on a beach and a little boy comes over and grabs his dick and wants to kiss it, and the kid's dad catches him in the act. It's not funny at all, it's just uncomfortable to watch. I usually love Robert De Niro in comedies. Midnight Run and Meet the Parents are two of my all-time favorites. But in those movies, he got to play real, three-dimensional characters. In Midnight Run, he plays a bounty hunter filled with regret and clinging onto the pipe dream that he could one day reconcile with his ex-wife. In Meet the Parents, he plays an overprotective father who has a contentious relationship with his soon-to-be son-in-law. These are roles that De Niro could really sink his teeth into. But his character in Dirty Grandpa isn't even really a character at all. He's a one-dimensional caricature of a grumpy old cigar-chomping bigot. He's like Archie Bunker without a shred of the wit or irony. The whole movie hinges on the extremely limited novelty of getting screen legend Robert De Niro, the 2-time Academy Award winner who breathed life into such iconic roles as Travis Bickle, Jake LaMotta, and young Vito Corleone, to do the most horrible, depraved shit imaginable, which is worn thin within seconds. He freely uses every slur known to man. He wanks naked in front of his grandson. He sleeps naked in the same bed as his grandson and puts his dick in his grandson's face for a laugh. There's a running gag where he keeps sexually assaulting his grandson by shoving his finger in between his arse cheeks. There's an even more awkward scene in which De Niro befriends a group of black men and spends all his time with them trying to negotiate when he can use the N-word.
What's with the N-word anyway? I can say it, I can't say it.
They go to a karaoke bar, and while De Niro is singing an Ice Cube song, he gets a round of uproarious applause from a room full of black people for proudly dropping the N-bomb.
Did I say it? Did I say it? No. Say it!
It's painful to watch. If you're a white filmmaker forcing your ancillary black characters to give your white protagonist an N-word pass, you shouldn't be surprised when your movie doesn't work.
Let's go, bitches.
Holy shit.
What?
Nothing, you're just really gay.
Oh, am I? Thanks, Captain Gaydar.
The worst thing is that Dirty Grandpa doesn't even commit to its own tastelessness. It spends 99% of its runtime trying to get cheap laughs out of tired stereotypes, and 1% trying to proselytize bigots. De Niro spends the whole film making homophobic remarks at the one gay character who exists purely as the target for those homophobic remarks.
Just try not to join the cast of Rent on the way back.
And then suddenly gets all defensive and acts like the gay character's best friend when someone else makes a homophobic remark. De Niro takes this bully out into the car park, beats him up, and forces him to apologize to the gay character for making fun of his sexuality.
Tell him you're sorry you make fun of him for being gay.
I'm sorry I made fun of you for being gay.
The hypocrisy is truly astonishing. It astounds me that a film this hideously, fanatically intolerant has the audacity to also be so self-righteous. Dirty Grandpa doesn't just try to have its cake and eat it, it tries to have its cake, eat it, and fat-shame the baker. Aubrey Plaza is a bright spot in this unwatchable mess, but even she phones it in, and I don't blame her.
He looks like Abercrombie fucked fish.
The way she delivers the script's lazy jokes is almost sarcastic, as she seems bored with the shitty material and the misogynistic tone.
Yeah, I guess the drought in my pussy's finally over. I want you to tear open my bra like it's a social security check.
Obviously, I've got the bigger 3-wood.
Good, maybe you can use it to hit your balls right into my vagina.
Her character is a sex object whose entire motivation and character arc are that she desperately wants to fuck Robert De Niro. I'm guessing the agent who got her into this was fired shortly thereafter. The characters just aren't recognizable as human beings. De Niro is out trying to fuck college girls the day after his wife's funeral, Plaza instantly falls in love with this sleazy old stranger, and Efron is somehow both the straight man and a crack-addled lunatic. That might have worked if the film committed to being a work of absurdism. No one in Zoolander feels like a real person, and that works just fine. But Dirty Grandpa actually expects us to care about these characters. We're supposed to want Zac Efron to seize back his independence from his overbearing father, the same story that was handled much better in High School Musical. And worse yet, we're supposed to actually want Robert De Niro to seduce a woman 50 years younger than him. I get why everyone else signed up for this hot garbage. What actor doesn't want to be in a movie with De Niro? But I don't understand why De Niro would lower himself to this. He previously poked fun at Little Fockers as his worst movie.
I was very, very moved and gratified when you made the announcement 2 months ago, well before you had a chance to review Little Fockers.
And it is a steaming pile of shit. But Dirty Grandpa makes Little Fockers look like a comedy masterpiece on par with The Naked Gun. At least at the end of Little Fockers, you don't feel like you need a shower. Dirty Grandpa was directed by Dan Mazer, the former writing partner of Sacha Baron Cohen. I don't know how a writer who worked on Ali G, Borat, and Bruno managed to create something so ruthlessly unfunny. Dirty Grandpa is anti-comedy. It's the death knell of big screen comedy. You're about as likely to be amused by Dirty Grandpa as you are likely to be turned on by the rotting old lady corpse in the bathtub of room 237 in The Shining. It makes your comedy erection shrivel up inside you. Comedies are supposed to leave you full of joy with sore cheek muscles from laughing so hard, but Dirty Grandpa just leaves you feeling cold and unloved. It's about as humorous and uplifting as Sallow or Funny Games. Dirty Grandpa is a classic example of a movie with its heart in completely the wrong place. It punches down, making cruel, bigoted jokes that were already worn out decades ago, and it has much more conviction in its callous mockery of underprivileged communities than its supposed character development. It just trudges through the tired beats of a cliched, formulaic rom-com and a cliched, formulaic sex-com simultaneously. Even the director seems to be rolling his eyes behind the camera. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the raunchy, gross-out grandpa movie starring Johnny Knoxville has a lot more depth, characterization, and emotional substance than the raunchy, gross-out grandpa movie starring Robert De Niro.
Hey, you made it. You made it.
This is sort of a sample chapter from a book I'm working on about the worst films ever made. If anyone out there knows someone in publishing who might be interested, maybe one of your uncles or aunties is the CEO of Random House, then by all means get in touch. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.